Hey guys, it's Dawn from New Dawn Coaching and Training. Today we're going to teach you how to do the perfect squat. And why is that important? Well, in future workouts with me, you're going to be doing a lot of squats, but we want you to know how to do it right so it is super effective, because squats are something that works the entire lower body, and if you do it right, it's going to be really effective for your body. Secondly, I don't want you to get hurt. If you do a squat improperly, you can mess up your knees, your back. None of us want that. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's review the basics, and then we're going to add on and give you some advanced options that'll make your squats that much more effective. So when we begin learning a squat, we're going to think about our knees, our heels, and our back. If you can master those three parts of your body, you will have your squat perfected. So I'm going to show you a little bit from the side. I'm going to have my feet about shoulder width apart. What I want to do is just drop down like I was going to sit in a chair and then come back up. So notice my knees where they're at. They're not going over my toes. They're staying back behind my toes. Now the way I can do that is to put my weight back in my heels. So you should be able to almost wiggle your toes right here on the way down and then come back up. So knees not going over the toes and weight in your heels. Weight in the heels will help you use your butt. So lastly is your back. Notice when I squat down, I'm bending forward a little bit. Not a lot. I'm going to show you a way I wouldn't want you to do it. Just kind of collapsing forward. Then it all becomes as just a back exercise and you can get hurt. But let's drop down those hips. Use those big hip muscles and then push up through your heels. So that is the first way to do a squat. Now if you're just starting with squats, what I would recommend is getting a chair. Have that right behind you. Pretend you're going to sit in it. Okay, so you sit down in that chair, you almost touch your thighs, you come back up. That's going to help you if you're a little shaky in the balance department, because if you lose your balance, guess what? That chair back there is going to catch you, okay? So remember, weight in the heels, knees don't go over the toes, and your back leans forward just a little bit. So once you have the hang of that, I would grab a set of weights. Hold those in your hands. I got my weights right here. Again, feet shoulder width apart. You just let those weights kind of hang down at your sides. Just going down and back up. Now, depending how heavy your weights are, that's going to get a lot harder, okay? So regular squats. What you can do to make those a little bit harder is stay down and pulse for about 4, 3, 2, then come back up. We do that again. We get down there and we pulse 4, 3, 2, okay? So we could do a series of pulses. A lot of times I'll have my clients, they'll come down, they'll pulse for 8, come back up, we'll pulse for 8. Maybe after you've done that a few times, you just come down and you stay and you hold. And you watch your clock and you say, 30 seconds, I'm going to stay down here. And I bet you're going to get a little shaky with that once you've held for those 30 seconds. So then we come back up. Another way to make it harder is do single leg squats. So I'd be on one foot, my other leg would trail back behind me, and I just dip down like that. Just on one leg. I'm going to show you from the other side just so you can see maybe a little bit better. But we would dip down and up. I like this because A, that one leg is going to have to pull all its own weight. B, it works your balance big time. So if you're just starting, you might want a chair next to you. Just kind of do a little fingertip balance. The other leg. Again, on one foot. And notice again, we're trying to keep that knee from going over the toes. It is going to shift forward a little bit more when you're doing single legs. But again, notice my back is dropping forward a little, but not a lot, okay? Single leg squats. You can also do those holding dumbbells in your hands. Next up, we're going to review squats where you use your big ball. All right, so squats with your big ball. I'm going to put my Swiss ball against a wall. And I'm going to put my lower back, the curve of my lower back, right against that ball. Now we're going to have you walk your feet away from the wall a little bit. So you're going to feel like you're actually leaning back against the ball. This is different from regular squats because when you squat down, you're going to be upright, okay? So remember how earlier we leaned forward? We're not going to do that now. So just down and up. So what we're going to do is still keep our weight in our heels. Notice my knees are not going over my toes. This can actually be a very back-friendly way to do squats, or if your knees tend to bother you, sometimes these are a little easier on your knees. Notice that my thighs are going down parallel to the floor, okay? So what I could do is just look straight on. I like to keep the shoulders back on this. Now maybe to make it a little harder, you're coming down, you're just gonna hold and breathe. And then we come back up. So when we come down and we hold, maybe we're thinking about holding for about 20, 30 seconds, and those quads are gonna start to burn a little bit. And then back up. So once again, I like your weight in your heels right here. We do that, A, to keep stress off the knees, and B, it helps recruit your big hip muscles. And then bring it up, okay? So those are one variation there with the ball against the wall. Let's do one leg. So I'm gonna show you with my outside leg here, so hopefully you can see that. I'm actually standing on one foot. My other leg, I like to lift it behind me. So I'm standing on just my left foot right now. Try to keep my shoulders back. I'm gonna go down a little bit and up. Now, if you have knees that are a little tender, the one knee that doesn't feel that hot might not like this version very much. But if your knees like it, I love single leg squats. I said earlier, each leg has to pull its own weight. That's fantastic. And also, this works the balance like crazy. Now with a single leg squat, I'm just gonna switch feet. I'm not going quite as low. So down and up. Now if this leg is awkward back here, what you could always do is just take your leg out in front. That works well for some folks. I just happen to like my leg behind me a little bit more. One more time is what I'm gonna show you there. So those would be a way to bump it up. Once you get used to those regular squats against the wall, go with singles, you're definitely gonna feel those. All right, so here's your advanced option. Once you moved on from learning your basic squats and you've got those single legs mastered from the floor and using the big ball, well, I'm gonna have you get a bench or a chair, something this height where you can sit on. And what we're gonna do is actually push ourselves up from one foot. So I'm on my left foot right now. What I'm gonna do is just kind of stand up there and come back down. So nice and easy. Now, I make these look easy because I've done a lot of them, but when I first started doing these, it wasn't easy, guys. What I kind of had to do was lean forward a little bit more, maybe tap off with my other foot, and then I'd lift that foot off the floor to come back down. So a way to learn it is to put that other foot, just lightly tap the toes, lift up the foot, and then come down in that one leg. So these require a little more balance, and it's a little awkward until you get the hang of it, how to really just position your foot and your weight in your foot so you can get yourself up. So I'm gonna switch to my other foot and just coming up and down. So if you give it enough time, yours will be this smooth as well. So what will be helpful is when you start coming up right here, shift your body weight forward into the foot a little bit. You'll lean forward just a little bit. Notice I'm not just throwing my back forward, okay? Again, these are awesome to make each leg just get its own strength going on. Each leg is gonna get worked the same. And guess what? More balanced challenge. You could also do these next to a wall, and the wall will give you just that little bit of oomph to get up there. So check this out. My hand would just be against that wall real lightly. Now, I know most of my clients, when they're learning these, they're really hard when they first start, but they get the hang of it. I think it's just kind of getting the feel for the exercise itself and training your nerves how to talk to your muscles to coordinate that. Give it some time, I guarantee you're gonna love these and be challenged by them. All right, so you've mastered those squats. You've got a lot of different varieties. I know some of you are saying, okay, now what can I do with them? Well, let me give you a quick little workout. I know we focused a lot on 10-minute workouts over the last few weeks. So here is a quickie squat workout. We start with those basic squats where we just had both feet on the floor, squatting down and up. I'd have you hold a set of medium to heavier dumbbells in your hands. Let's think about 3 sets of those for 15 reps. Next up, we're standing on one foot. We're gonna do a set each side, holding a dumbbell in the same side hand of that foot you're standing on. I want 1 set each side, repeat that 2 times, and guess what? 15 reps for each leg. Then we're gonna move on to this lovely bench. I just showed you those single leg squats. Well, I'm gonna take 3 sets for each side. You can go back and forth, left to right, left to right, left to right. And let's say, if as you get stronger, you're gonna hold a weight in the same side leg that you're standing on. And we're gonna go for about 12 to 15 reps. So we got you in 3 different rounds of squats there. You should be able to knock those out really quick. And guess what? Your legs and your hips are gonna feel it really well. Follow it up with a good stretch for your quadriceps at the end, and you will have a good little mini workout for that day. So that's it for now. Next up, we're gonna cover lunges. Thanks for joining me today. I wish you a great day.